my name is Elizabeth Riato, and you're about to watch a super embarrassing video of me explaining musical theater obsessions. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, well, this girl's crazy. She's about to talk about something that I've never even heard of. Well, let me assure you, musical theater obsessions are something that a lot of people, present company included, have to deal with. So I'm just going to bring you through the 5 basic stages and list a couple of musical theater nerd characteristics. So let's get going. First of all, there are 5 basic stages of musical theater obsessions. Now, this may sound insensitive when I say it out loud, but they're actually structured very similarly to the 5 stages of grief, which are, as stated by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and David Keller in the article The 5 Stages of Grief, are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Now, in musical theater culture, these are modified ever so slightly to form the 5 stages of musical theater obsessions, which are interest, overexposure, denial, acceptance, and balance. Now, there are a couple of emotions and actions that you must undergo to enter into each stage, which are as follows. First stage of musical theater obsessions is interest. Interest is the stage where, yeah, you may have known a couple songs from Phantom of the Opera or more popular shows like Hamilton, but interest is the stage where you actually start to discover real musical theater. A lot of people just come across it by random means. They may just be listening to something on their phone and then a random song from a musical pops up, and it's usually one from a more popular show, and they're like, wow, I actually really like this song. Well, let me go and listen to it again. So this constantly leads to the same repetition of the same song over and over and over again until you actually sometimes listen to the next song in the cast recording by accident, especially if you left the autoplay option on your phone. Now, you may think that this is harmless, but trust me, there is no going back once you have started your journey along musical theater obsession. The second stage of musical theater obsessions is overexposure. This is the stage where a lot of people undergo what I like to call my monthly musical obsessions. In this stage, a lot of people discover a new musical every single month, and they become obsessed with that one musical for that one month in particular. This leads to constant in and out of different musicals and different genres and different styles of musicals. And this can actually cause a lot of people to become overwhelmed because they are so overexposed to musicals in general. That often leads to stage 3. The third and hardest stage of musical theater obsessions is denial. Denial is the stage where a lot of people have started to notice that you've been listening to your music a lot more, and they'll ask you, are you okay? Do you need to talk about something? And the first thing that you do is you negate all of their accusations, and you're like, yes, I'm completely fine. Well, that's a lie. You're not fine. You have a problem, but you try not to deal with it. A lot of people try to boycott listening to the music that they really love because they're embarrassed that all they listen to is musical theater. It's a little embarrassing sometimes. Sorry. The fourth stage of musical theater obsessions is acceptance. Acceptance is the stage where you accept that, yes, you are a musical theater nerd, and yes, you have an obsession, and yes, it is a big problem, but you are working hard to solve it. Acceptance is the stage where a lot of people start to exhibit the first signs of a true musical theater nerd, which then leads us into stage 5. The final stage of musical theater obsessions is balance. Balance is the stage where you finally manage to balance stalking your favorite Tony nominees, listening to all of your old albums, and finding out new musicals, and just balancing normal, boring life stuff somewhere in there. This is the stage where you accept that, yes, you are a musical theater nerd and you have all the characteristics of one. A lot of people who have entered this stage aspire to become theater majors, and they're often ridiculed for doing so. But it's actually been proven by theater professor Louis E. Catron that listening to musical theater and immersing yourself in theater in general helps to improve your creativity, problem solving, dedication, work ethic, discipline, and integrity. Now, again, you are a musical theater nerd at this point, so yes, you exhibit a couple characteristics that may seem a little different to the regular eye, but these characteristics are ones that can actually be quite common among musical theater nerd culture, and I'm just gonna list a couple of them, so here we go. You spell theater with an E at the end instead of in between the T and the R, and you resent those who spell theater with an E in between the T and the R because the E is at the end. Just saying. You get really irritated when people say that they are a musical theater nerd even though they only know songs from Be More Chill and Hamilton. You have a song for literally every single word in the English and often in other languages. Now you may think that this is weird, but it's actually been scientifically proven by Benny Lewis, a polyglot and linguistic researcher, that listening to songs in other languages can actually help you learn that song, and it's very beneficial to the human brain. You're able to memorize any song or a list of song lyrics the second time that you hear the song. You have Tony Award parties instead of Super Bowl parties. You have no knowledge of sports whatsoever. You believe that saying good luck before a show is actually bad luck. When you get bored, you make lists of musical theater nerd characteristics, and you may be listening to a Broadway soundtrack when you're doing it. Hint, hint, I was doing that when I made this list. You don't talk to your parents after they refuse to buy you tickets to see Broadway when you're literally in New York City. You also don't talk to your parents when they refuse to buy you tickets to the national tour of the same show that you asked to see on Broadway when it comes to your city. You have about 16 songs stuck in your head at the same exact time, and you can never, ever get them out. You resent those that think that the Les Mis movie was a good movie. You also resent the people that believe that High School Musical, the movie, is a musical. It's not. There are distinct differences between a play and a musical. One has music, one does not. Put it together, people. Dairy ruins your life. Period. Now you may think that I'm crazy again, but according to Julie Bond, doctor of medicine, dairy actually causes the phlegm in your throat to thicken, which can then make it very difficult to perform and to sing with clear diction. So just please, take my advice. Don't drink dairy. Mic tape is your worst enemy. The cast list experience. The first part of that is literally dying when you wait for the cast list to come out. And then you get to see the cast list. And then you cry when you see the cast list. It's just a fact. You remember every single piece of choreography that you have ever been given. But the best part of musical theater and immersing yourself in this amazing culture is getting to make friends that will last a lifetime. Thank you guys for watching this. Sorry if I don't have a formal conclusion, but this is actually my second time doing this because I accidentally deleted the first video that I did. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening to me go on and on about musical theater nerd culture, because I happen to know a lot about it. I'm completely obsessed with musical theater, but you know what? That's fine. I've got a problem. I accept it. I'll move on with life. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys when you see this in class, and I'm horribly, horribly embarrassed. So, bye guys. Oh, it's recording. Oh, well then. Hi, I'm struggling big time. And that's not good. And I just messed it up. And that's lovely. And I know that my mother's listening to this and I don't like it. Okay. And it's late. Well, it's not late, but it's late for me. Yeah. So, hi. I had a lot of problems doing this, and that's great. And these are my pretty flowers on the pretty wall that I wanted to do it with. And my phone is plugged into my laptop, and I'm not even wearing shoes. That's great. So, yeah, just... yeah. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm really hungry. I'm really tired. And look at all the blankets I'm sitting on because I'm too short. It's kind of sad. Oh, that's a pretty wall. Yeah. I'm gonna stop this before I embarrass myself even more than I already am. I'm literally sitting like a frog. Like, look. And you are about to watch a super embarrassing video of me explaining why is it so out of focus. Okay. And I wouldn't usually do this, but I'm just gonna complain on video and show the entire class. I wrote my visual aid backwards. Yeah, can you read that? No, it's backwards. Now I gotta write it backwards. Myself. Like, which, as stated by Elizabeth Keller Ross, that's not her name at all. A soundtrack and an ad comes on, or they just start, I'm just babbling. Oh my god. fourth stage of musical theater nope. The fourth stage of musical theater, oh my, Dr. Catrone, nope. The final stage of a musical theater obsession is balance. This is the stage where you finally accept that you are a musical theater nerd. No, that's acceptance. Oh my gosh. Some of which I have taken inspiration from What a Musical Theater Nerd Does, the musical, which is a video that I like. And that was a really good take, and now I'm really mad that I messed it up. Balance is the stage where you have successfully learned how to balance stalking Tony nominees and no, what the earth? But according to Benny Lewis, a polyglot and linguistic researcher, listening to languages through music that is not your own, that's not what I'm trying to say. You're able to memorize any song literally as soon as you hear it. Just, yeah, no, don't like that. Also not talking to your parents when they refuse you to buy you the nope. You have a song for literally every single word in the English language and often in other languages, which can actually be very beneficial to you. It is scientifically I'm just gonna point out that there are some people texting me who are sitting in this classroom right now, and it's making my phone vibrate and buzz all the time, and it's really getting irritating, so can you just cut it out? I was going to film this on my selfie stick, but then I didn't, and I have the wrong orientation. Oops.